So here the goal was to obviously put in the best time, the quickest time as possible. So this is the first riding race. It's a little over FTP, as hard as I can. Me, my mom, and my dad all did this race. My dad finished and first started with the climb, and it was going to end with a climb. 3 seconds. So the goal was to just push as hard as I could, as fast as I could. My mom and my dad did it the next day. I knew this was going to be a hard one. The ITTs are always Friday, so hard. So they did it on July 4th. And this is really my first time attempting to complete. It's really exciting to watch. If you want to watch the very end, is my dad finishing his race. Nobody wants to watch me. And my mom did hers for an hour, so it's a nice quick video. So fun ending, great, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm super proud of all of us, and I can't wait to see how the next races do. So I hope you guys enjoy. So strategy-wise here, we had the big AC unit blowing air right on me, as well as a fan in the front and a fan behind me, I believe, I want to say, or just 2 fans in the front. But you can literally see my skin turning red. I felt like I was on fire, but I'm also pushing, you know, in the red, as you can see. Very difficult for me. I'm not the fastest rider. I'm an E category racer, and I'm very new to this. I only started in March, so just a couple of months in. People are obviously passing me, and I was dying. Yep, I was dying. So yeah, dying. So here I finally, you know, made it up the hill, finished making it all the way up that first climb. But for me, since I am a lighter rider, I don't get to just coast immediately down the hill. I did use the down the hill as my recovery, and I think that was the best option for me, as I had a heart rate almost at 200. And I know my heart rate can go to 200, but it is hard and it hurts. So even going downhill, I can't let up. I have to keep pushing so I can pick up some speed. I knew that if I slowed down any bit, that I wasn't going to pick up that speed. So I finished that first climb at 12:20, and I had to keep pedaling, and then I got to stop pedaling and recover. I could barely breathe, and it was really difficult, but I knew that this was really my only chance to recover, because once it got to the flat, I had to just keep pushing, be in the red the whole race. And here I realized that it's time to pick up the speed again. I put down 200 watts, got those gears spinning, or got the cadence up, and knew that I was coming down on the end of the mountain, so I needed to continue my speed, keep pedaling, keep the lactic acid from building in my legs, because I still had a long ways to go. I thought I was going to finish this in about an hour and 15 minutes. I did end up coming in faster than an hour and 15 minutes, but I just knew that I had to keep pushing, and keep the watts as high as I could for as long as I could. Called this one the mini climb because it is just a little, 30 second to a minute for me. I can't exactly remember, but just a little bit of a hill. Everything else is super flat. I do pretty well on the hills, and I'm able to kind of put down decent power for those hills. Now, I was already feeling pretty tired here because my heart didn't have much chance or much time to recover because it is ITT. There's no draft. And it's flat, so me being a lighter rider, there's just constant pain. There is no cruising or anything. I got pretty slowed down here, down to like 7 miles an hour. So the incline was not huge, but it was enough to slow me down pretty good. And I know it's going to only be worse in the Queen stage where Alpe de Zwift is in the route. But I made it through this climb, picked up some speed, and just kept going as fast as I could for as long as I could. Here I was pretty excited because I knew I was right about halfway through. I had seen there's only 7.5 miles left, and I'd done 8.5 miles. So I knew I was right about halfway done, and I was just ready to get it over with. I was so tired. My face is so red. It was so hot. I wanted to take a rest, but it made me really happy to know that I passed that person, and I'm sure that they'll come back and pass me here soon. But it made me feel good to pass somebody because It seemed like I couldn't see anybody. Even though I wasn't in last place, there's still 160 other people in front of me. So I wasn't feeling defeated. I knew that I was going to be towards the back of the pack, but it did feel good to pass somebody, keep putting down those watts, and just go as hard as I could. So here is where I actually decided to let my heart rate recover. And I feel like when you watch those A/B racers, they never take any breaks. Even my dad, who did the race, never took any breaks. He just kept pushing the whole time. But being an E category racer who's pretty new to this, being a power lifter who's not used to being able to hold my heart rate this high, I really needed this recovery, because I knew if I went into that last hill at 180, 190 beats per minute, I probably wouldn't have made it up the hill, and I would have blown up and just had to quit or something like that. So I decided to take this time as my heart rate recovery. Maybe about a mile it was, maybe not exactly a mile, but I got my heart rate down to 170, 160s. I was still pushing, but I needed to recover my heart rate. I just didn't want my speed to get too low. So now we're back on the hill, and the goal was to kind of do it in the same time that I did the first one in. I knew that I'd probably be a little slower since I've already been on the bike for about an hour, and the goal was to just stay above my FTP, push to the top of the hill, give it all I got, and just completely let it all loose. Anything that was saved in the tank is now time to let it go, get as fast as I could. The goal at this point was to get in under an hour once I realized kind of the time frame I was around. So the goal was to get around an hour, and I got pretty close, as you guys will see here shortly. So here is the final portion of the climb, all gas, no brakes. We're nearing the top, and it's so deceiving because it looks flat, but you see it's still 7%. And I start losing all form. I just need to push as hard as I can. I've got a heart rate of 199. I'm feeling it, I'm hurting, I'm steering, I'm doing all the things that I need to do. I'm trying to get it over with. I see that I'm right over an hour, and I'm just trying to get it done. You know, the end is right around the corner, and here is entering the head bob for more speed. And you can just see my head bobbing back and forth. In my head, in that moment, it gave me more speed. I looked like a fish out of water. I'm just spinning as fast as I can, moving, putting down as much power as I could. I was so tired, so exhausted, and I thought that was a little funny. I'm steering hard, and boom, I finally crossed the finish line. I died. I put down as much power as I could. 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds, and I am in 5th place, but for my age group, I'm actually in 1st place. All red, look at that, all red, not even funny. All red, dying, barely any heart rate recovery, heart rate through the roof the whole time. Pretty proud of that. Power was up there, and I got a new FTP, so congratulations to me, and congratulations to everybody who attempted. Bye.